Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm currently on Birdie. Hopefully she's self-steering because I'm trying to film this and not super experienced in that department. Today we're going to be filming some exercise. We're going to start a series of mini-sodes focusing on each individual horse we have and some of the honest, realistic problems we're having with them and working through them with some really simple exercises that everybody should be able to do at home pretty easily. So today I'm going to be helping Ben and Jackie. Ben saying that he's having some problems with her downward transitions from canter. She's always been a little quick in there, a little rushy. So we're going to work on getting her to slow down and balance a little bit more in the canter trot transition. Let's do it. Okay, so we're just going to show you some canter trot transitions first with Jackie. Sorry about the jumps, they're a bit in the way, but hopefully we can still be effective. You can see the rhythm's quite consistent, quite even here in the trot. I'm a little above the bit there in the canter transition, but we are focusing on the downward ones today, and sometimes it's better to just focus on one rather than the other. That was actually a really good one. But she does have a tendency to run a little as we come down. But Ben has been working really hard on fixing that, so hopefully she'll show you one or two. Good. A great thing to do as well, testing the rhythm like that, especially when we're trying to make sure they're not running. You know, to really be 100%, even sometimes if they don't feel like they're running. When you come back, if you can really give and retake the reins, that proves that there's no running going on. Perfect. Can you do that a bit closer here, Ben? Over this side. So when he comes around, he's just going to show you. In the canter rhythm hasn't really been the problem, but it's good to test. You know, there's no change in the rhythm there, so that's really good. So keep coming and do the trot transition a little closer to me. And when he comes around here, we're going to be looking. We don't want her trot rhythm to increase even 5%. We want to make sure that that trot rhythm belongs to Ben and not to Jackie. Jackie thinks that she's in charge of the rhythm sometimes, so even if it doesn't look like she's running, sometimes she's a little ahead where she should be. Okay, that trot's looking good. One more of those, please. Super, and a trot transition somewhere as you pass me. So these, Ben's not doing too much, we're not doing too many exercises there. You can tell, yeah, he's really been working on them. But let's show you anyway how we got them to this point. Okay, one of the things that Ben's been really using is we've been coming from a tiptoe trot and making transitions through there. So our tiptoe trot, that's just a word that we use for our tiny, really slow, on the spot, snail trot, if you like. So we're going to put her there, and this might mean, because we've stripped the rhythm of a lot of its momentum, it might mean that she comes a little above the bit in the upward transition. That's okay, we'll take that for now. But we really want her to return to this trot after the canter. So let's have a look at that. So we're going to make a canter transition out of snail trot. And then we're going to return from canter to trot back into that teeny tiny trot. So when you're ready, popping forward to canter, Ben, without letting her increase. Now this is really tough. This is a more advanced exercise. Good, that was great. Super. And then when we come back to trot, we're gonna put her out of her comfort zone, asking her to be, you know, really quite slow, which is gonna be hard for her. So as Ben comes back around past me, he's gonna ask her to return to that really small, really slow, boring snail trot. Good, and slow, yeah. And he's going to make a little break and soften, so he's going to make a little half halt and then test the rhythm, making sure that she's really honest in the rhythm and she's not just pretending to be there. Good girl. And the fact that she dropped out to walk, that's good in a way, because it shows that, yeah, she's really not running. Okay, let's do one more of those just to make sure. So just to be clear, guys, we're doing this out of a really slow trot, uncomfortably slow for Jackie, making the upward transition. And they are probably gonna, when they're learning this, gonna come off the bit a little bit because they've just got no momentum to help them. And you can see that she dropped out, and that's okay, but you can see that when she dropped out, she had that little bit of running because Ben didn't set it up as much as he normally would, but it's good to see it and even correct it anyway. So starting again. So coming through here, now we're setting up for our downward transition, and we're going to be really aware of any pushing past the rhythm that Ben is asking for. So she's there, now we're going for half halt, check both reins, and then let's test her. Is she there? Is she staying slow? Good girl. Well done, Jackie. Okay, cool, that'll do with that one. Okay, so another problem we've had with Jackie's up and downward transitions to and from canter has been that she would get a little tight when she when she ran on a little bit. So when she was rushing, she'd get a little tight in her back and a bit sort of stuck. So what we would also do would be have a little bit of a yield. Okay, now that means pushing her away off one of our legs, and then we'd sort of turn her shoulders and manipulate her body to help her let go. Okay, so we're going to have a little look at that here. So when Ben comes back, this time instead of making the break and soften and working her longitudinally, which means from her ears all the way over her back to her tail, we're going to work her side to side, so laterally. Okay, we're going to push her around to make sure she's not tight. Okay, that was a really great tool. We're going to move her over, so he's going to yield her a bit here, then he's going to make a left turn. And you can really do this however. Now he's going to yield her off the right leg. So you can just, it just sort of stops them from thinking that they're just going to cart you forward, and that they have to move their body, let go, and swing in rhythm a little bit more. And then he'll do this until she sort of accepts the bit and accepts the rhythm again, and then we'll go forward again. Okay, cool. So we're going to do that maybe 2 or 3 more times just to make sure it's really solid. And obviously over time this has been a lot worse. You know, this is with a lot of practice. This is one of the biggest problems she's had. So these are the tools we've really taught her. So he's going to move her across, make a turn. Now it's important to make the turns as well. And when you make the turn, try and keep the neck straight, and then a yield, and then make a turn. And get really creative with this, guys. We don't want the horses to anticipate where you're going. You want to kind of surprise them, and you'll get the most benefit from the manipulating of their body that way. So he's doing a little surprise turn there and another one there. So that's great. And then he'll be ready for one more canter transition somewhere. And you'll find that exercise really improves the canter transition because you really get their back, and it improves the contact, the feeling on both sides of their mouth. And can you do the trot transition a little earlier this time, Ben? Yeah, so we can see the other angle of you moving her across. That's it. So there's a little yield there, straight into Birdie. Thanks, Birdie, for behaving. It's about the only behaving she's done today. Good, and just moving her everywhere and anywhere. And then you'd be ready for the next canter. And keep, you know, you can test the rhythm there as well, definitely. So in between, you know, you put the reins forward and test that she's not running, test that she's staying nice and loose over her back and not getting tight again. All right, cool, I think that will do. So as you guys can see, 2 really simple exercises that anyone can kind of have a go at to improve the rhythm and the balance in the downward transition from canter, and to get rid of any rushing and running on that your horse might be doing. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions about what we did today, let us know in the comments. And if you have any suggestions of things you're having trouble with and you'd like us to go over, put them in the comments too. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our future minisodes, and we'll see you then.